Hello everyone. We are going to see one of the interesting chapter, governor. The function of governor is to regulate the mean speed of an engine when there are variations in the load. Example: when the load on an engine increases, its speed gets decreases. Therefore, it becomes necessary to increase the supply of working fluid. On other hand, when the load on the engine decreases, its speed gets increases. Thus, less working fluid is required. Now, taking another example of governor, suppose a car is running on the normal road or horizontal road. The car requires minimum amount of fluid. When same car is running on the inclined road, the engine speed get decreases and load on the engine is increased. To maintain the speed of the engine, the increased amount of working fluid is supplied with the help of governor. When same car is running on the steep road or in downward direction, the engine speed gets decreases and the load on the engine is decreased. At that time, to maintain the mean speed, the working fluid is reduced with the help of governor. The governors are automatically controls the supply of working fluid to the engine with the varying load conditions and keeps the mean speed within the certain limits. The function of flywheel is in an engine is entirely different from that of the governor. It controls the speed variation caused by the fluctuation of the engine turning moment during each cycle of the operation, while it does not control the speed variation caused by the varying load. Now let's see the types of governors. The governors may be broadly classified as first centrifugal governors and second inertia governors. Now let's see inertia governor. Inertia governors are speed control device utilizing suspended mass that responds to speed changes by reason of their inertia. Inertia governors are more sensitive than the centrifugal governors, but it becomes difficultly completely to balance the revolving parts as it is more sensitive. So, the centrifugal governors are more frequently used. This is the block diagram of centrifugal governors. It shows various elements such as arms, spindles, flyballs, links, sleeves, bell crank lever, bevel gear, throttle wall. Now let's see the working of governor. When the load on the engine increases, the engine and governor speed gets decreases. So centrifugal of the ball decreases, due to which ball moves inward and sleeve moves downward. This motion of sleeve is transmitted to the throttle wall through bell crank lever, which increases the fuel supply of the working fluid to the engine. In other way, when load on the engine decreases, the speed of the engine gets increased, while governor also gets increases, which increases the centrifugal force on the fly ball. So the ball moves outward and the sleeve will move upward and fuel supply to the working fluid to the engine gets decreases. Now let's see the brief classification of centrifugal governors. Centrifugal governors are broadly classified into two groups, pendulum type and loaded type. Pendulum type, sometimes it is also called as watt governor. In loaded type, it is classified as dead weight governors, spring controlled governors. Dead weight governors are subclassified as Porter governor and Porel governor. Spring control governors are subdivided into four types: Hartnell governor, Hartung governor, Wilson-Hartnell governors, Pickering governors. Centrifugal governors. The centrifugal governors are based on the balancing of centrifugal force on the rotating balls by an equal and opposite radial force known as controlling force. It consists of two balls of equal mass which are attached to the arms as shown in figure. These balls are known as governor balls or fly balls. The balls revolve with spindle which is driven by an engine through bevel gears. The upper ends of the arms are pivoted to the spindle so that the balls may rise up or fall down as they revolve about the vertical axis. The arms are connected by the links to the sleeves, which is keyed to the spindle. These sleeves revolves with the spindle but can slide up and down. The balls and the sleeves rises when the spindle speed increases and falls when the speed decreases. In order to limit the travel of sleeve in upward and downward direction, two stops are placed, named as S, which are placed near the spindle. The sleeve is connected by bell crank lever to the throttle valve. The supply of working fluid decreases when sleeve rises and increases when it falls. Now let's see the summarized chart of the centrifugal governor. When the load on the engine is increased, the speed gets decreases. At the same time, centrifugal force also decreases. As centrifugal force decreases, the sleeve moves downward or down. That causes throttle valve to open, so the fuel supply gets increases. At the same time, as fuel is increased, the speed of the engine will get increased. This is the old age governor. The first figure shows an 18th century governor which is made of wooden. Second is the Boulton and Watt engine of 1788. Now let's see Watt governor. The simplest form of centrifugal governor is a Watt governor, as shown in the above figure. Basically, a conical pendulum with links attached to a sleeve of negligible mass. The mass of the balls are negligible. Now let's see the Watt governor. The simplest form of centrifugal governor is a Watt governor as shown in above figure. Basically, a conical pendulum with links attached to a sleeve of negligible mass. The governor may be connected to the spindle in the following three ways. First, the pivot P may be on the spindle axis as shown in figure. First, Second, the pivot P may be offset from the spindle axis and the arms when produced intersect at O as shown in figure B. Third condition, the pivot P may be offsetted but the arms cross the axis at O as shown in figure C. These are the two types shown in the pictures of watt governor. The first picture shows the arms are not connected at the spindle but it is connected with the plate or attached at the PP link. The second picture shows the arms are pinned or hinged at the point P. The height which is shown is the distance between from the center of the ball to the point where the both arms are pinned or hinged. That distance is nothing but the height of the governor. Second, equilibrium speed. It is the speed at which the governor balls, arms, etc. are in complete equilibrium and the sleeve does not tend to move upward or downward. Here, when the speed, equilibrium speed is the equilibrium speed is the speed where sleeve are not moved up or down. It remains at the mean speed or mean level. Third, the mean equilibrium speed. It is the speed at the mean position of the ball or the sleeve. Fourth, maximum or minimum equilibrium. It is the speed at the maximum and minimum radius of rotation of the ball without tending to the move in either direction. Fifth, sleeve lift. It is the vertical distance which sleeve travels due to change in the equilibrium speed. As the speed increases, the sleeve is lifted upward. When the speed is reduced, the sleeve is decreased downward. So this fluctuation is nothing but the sleeve lift. Now let's see the derivation for the watt governor. Here small m is the mass of the ball in kg. W is the weight of the ball in newtons. Here W is equal to m into g, mass into gravity. Capital T shows the tensions in the arms in newtons. Omega is angular velocity of the arms and ball about the spindle axis in radian per second. Small r denotes the radius of the path of the rotation of the ball, that is horizontal distance from the center of the ball to the spindle axis in meters. Fc shows the centrifugal force acting on the ball in newtons, which is equal to mass into square of angular velocity into radius, and h shows the height of the governor in meters. It is assumed that the weight of the arms, links and the sleeves are negligible as compared to the weight of the ball. Here we have to understand that the weight of the ball is greater as compared to the weight of the arms, links, sleeves, because balls are made of the metals. Now the ball is in the equilibrium condition. The action of first the centrifugal force Fc acting on the ball. Second, the tension T in the arm. And third, the weight W of the ball. Taking moment about the point O, we have Fc into H, that is equal to weight into radius, that is mass into gravity into radius, mgr. Or we can write as mass into omega square into r into h, because Fc is nothing but m into omega square into r, which is equal to m into g into r, or we can write as h is equal to g upon omega square. When g is expressed in meter per second square and w in radian per second square, then h is in the meters. If n is the speed in the rpm, then omega can be written as 2 pi n divided by 60. Therefore, by shifting all the terms, and h becomes is equal to 9.81. Here we have to see that g, the value of g is 9.81 meter per second square. Here, so h becomes, h is equal to 9.81 divided by 2 into pi into n divided by 60 bracket square. By dividing all these values, we get 895 divided by n square meters. Note: the three main notes have to be considered in watt governors. First, one can see from the above expression that the height of the governor h is inversely proportional to n square. Therefore, at height speed, the value of h is small. Second, at such speed, the change in the value of h corresponds to a small change in speed is insufficient to enable a governor of this type of operates the mechanism to give the necessary change in the fuel supply. And the third condition is this type governor may only work satisfactorily at relatively low speed, that is from 60 to 80 rpms. Now let's see Porter governor. The Porter governor is the modification of watt governor with central load attached to the sleeve as shown in figure below. Here the Porter governor working is same as that of the watt governor. Construction is also similar to the watt governor. Okay, the load moves up and down on the central spindle. This additional downward force increases the speed of revolution, which is required to enable the ball to move to any predetermined level. Now let's see Porel governor. The Porel governor has the ball fixed at B and C as shown in figure to the extension of the links DF and EG. The arms FP and GQ are pivoted at P and Q respectively. By this change, it requires fly ball of less mass for the same action. When we require the less weight or minimum weight of governors, we are using Porel governors. The central load moves up and down on the central spindle. This additional downward force increases the speed of revolution, which is required to enable the ball to move to any predetermined level. Now let's see the Hartnell governor. Hartnell governors are the governors is a spring-loaded governors which is shown in the figure left. It consists of two bell crank levers pivoted at the point O to the frame. The frame is attached to the governor spindle and therefore it gets rotated with it. Each lever carries a ball at the end of the vertical arm OB and the roller at the end of the horizontal arm OR. A helical compressive spring which provides equal downward force on the two rollers through a collar of the sleeve. It serves the purpose like dead weight. The spring force may get adjusted by the spring or screw a nut up and down on the sleeves. This is the model of Hartnell governor. Hartung governor. Here, vertical arms of the bell crank lever is attached with the spring balls, which is compressed against the frame of the governor. This addition force against the centrifugal force increases the speed of the revolution, which is required to enable the ball to move to any predetermined level. Now let's see Wilson's Hartnell governor. In Wilson's Hartnell governor, balls are connected by a spring in tension. An auxiliary spring. See, the auxiliary spring, the B is the auxiliary spring and the P is the primary spring. Here, an auxiliary spring is attached to the sleeve mechanism through a lever by means of which an equilibrium speed for which a given radius may be adjusted. The main spring may be considered of two equal parts, each belonging to the both of the balls. The line diagram of Wilson and Hartnell figure is shown as below. This is also a figure of Wilson and Hartnell governors which shows the various parts in the figure. Auxiliary spring, main spring, balls, lever, arms, bell crank levers and all etc. Now let's see Pickering governor. A Pickering governor is mostly used for driving gramophone. It consists of three straight leaf springs arranged at the equal angular interval round the spindle. Suppose the 360 is the circumference of the circle. Each leaf is placed at 120 degree surrounding the circle. Each spring carries a weight at the center. The weight moves outward and the spring bends as they rotate about the spindle axis with increasing speed. The figure first shows the initial positions of the Pickering governor when it is an ideal situation, and the figure second shows the when the speed or the spindle is rotating, when the weights or the mass are thrown away due to the centrifugal force. Here we see the two stops are provided. These stops are provided because of to limit the speed or the limit the speed of engine. When excess speed gets increased, the stopper stops or the limits the amount of the engine speed. Now let's see some definitions in governors. First is sensitiveness. Consider two governors A and B running at same speed. When this speed increases or decreases by certain amount, the lift of the sleeve of the governor A is greater than lift of sleeve B. It is then said that governor A is more sensitive than the governor B. Here, sensitive is like that we pinch to the hand gives fast sensation as compared to the pinching to the base of the foot. In general, the greater the lift of the sleeve corresponds to a given fractional change in the speed, the greater is the sensitiveness of the governor. It may also be stated in other way that for a given lift of the sleeve, the sensitiveness of governor increases as the speed range decreases. This is defined as sensitiveness may be quite satisfactory when governor is considered as an independent mechanism. But when governor is fitted to an engine, the practical requirement is simply that the change of equilibrium speed from the full load to the no load, the position of sleeve should be a small a fraction as possible of mean equilibrium speed. In another definition, we can say that the actual displacement of the sleeve is immaterial, provided that it is sufficient to change the energy supplied to the engine by the required amount. For this reason, the sensitiveness can be defined as the ratio of difference between the maximum and minimum equilibrium speeds to the mean equilibrium speed. Now let's see the mathematical formula to the sensitiveness. Let's N1 be the minimum equilibrium. Capital N2 is equal to maximum equilibrium and N is mean equilibrium. Now sensitiveness of governor is given as N2 minus N1 divided by N, where N is nothing but the mean of N1 plus N2 divided by 2. Another definition in governor is stability. A governor is said to be stable when for every speed within the working range there is a definite configurations. That is, there is only one radius of rotation of the flyballs. Next definition in governor is isochronous governors. A governor is said to be isochronous when equilibrium speed within the working range is constant for all radii of rotation of the fly balls by neglecting friction. Hunting. A governor is said to be hunt if speed of engine fluctuates continuously above and below the mean speed. We can say that if the equilibrium speed is fluctuated, that is nothing but the hunting. This is caused by too sensitiveness of governor, which changes the fuel supply by large amount when small change in speed of rotation. Next definition in governor is effort of governor. As we have seen the definition of effort in applied mechanics, effort is nothing but the work done by the any body. Here, effort of governor is it is mean force extended at the sleeve for given percentage change of speed. The next definition is power of governor. It is the work done at sleeve for given percentage change of speed, that is equal to mean effort into distance moved by sleeve. That's all. Thank you.